Paradise or Prison? A story of the Lazarette on Queensland's Peel Island. As told by George XII with an interest in health and Kathleen May from far away. My name is Kathleen May, and I still remember the day. I got a little sickly, and I was sent so far away. I lived up in the city with me family of 3. I went to see the doc here to get some medicine for free. You see, we don't here have much money, but we get on by okay. With a little generosity, we's living day by day. So I got a real bad sniffle, and me nose had gone all red. I thought I'd hurt me ears as well, with what the doctor said.
My name is George XII. I have an interest in health. I work for this department alongside people of wealth. The politicians, the police, and the people up high, who make all the rules we must hereby abide. It seems on this day, for a peculiar reason, that ill health is increasing. 'Tmust be the season. Hansen's disease is leprosy. It must not be left untreated. The impact on society would leave our finances depleted. For this distinctly reason, here I forthright say, sufferers must be separated and taken far away. This is the law, and the law must stay, unless, of course, you are willing to pay.
I had some special illness. The doctor couldn't look at me, just stamped a telegram and muttered, "Must be leprosy." Before me head could think some more, or ask a thought or two, I was squatted in a holding room. I'd be on the boat by noon. Not those big old fancy boats. No, the captain he was clear. We wasn't to walk upon his decks. We'd be towed behind from here. I wasn't allowed to say goodbye. I waved from off the shore, with a bag of my belongings. It must have been the law. We sailed down the river, heading out towards the east, then turned down south of Moreton Bay for 10 good hours at least. And there it was all circled by sea, the island they's called Peel, a place for sickly people. I couldn't believe it to be real.
Peel Island was a fine place, abounding sides of sea, with the finest medical care, the perfect solidarity. And here shall go the patients and get treated with great ease, instead of spreading wildly this horrid infectious disease. And we should call it Hansen's, so as not to offend. Patients in a paradise, to heal and quickly mend.
The island it was dark, as we pulled upon the shore. I felt more sick than yester, me stomach it was sore. They's led me up like a Hagley con to a little broken hut. 'Twas cold and full of biting bugs, she had no door to shut. I was told I'd see the doctor in the morning the next day, as there weren't no lights round here, the day's shine had gone away. The sun she rose up early, through the cracks in rotten wood, and I felt me bones all crack, as I stretched me back and stood. I missed me little family, all wakened by me side. I wiped me ears with blackened hands and tried hard not to cry. The docky came to visit, he had blackened hands as well. He carried rusty tools and a horrid awful smell. He was covered in bites all over, for him and his wife, you see, live in a leaky boat under the mangrove trees. I wants to see me family, to let 'em know that I got here, to tell 'em I'll be home soon and not to feel the fear. The doctor he had said that he'd see what he could do. It very rarely happens, but he'll get the message through.
The patients can have visitors upon applying for a pass, but the visitors must live hastily upon the hourglass. Do your duties, follow the rules, and you will be paid with rights. Dig the holes and stoke the fire, and don't get into fights. Cut the timber, clean the beds, don't try to get away. Do as you are told, or those rights shall be taken away.
And so me family came, all sickened from the sea. Upon the northern jetty, I had 'em here with me. I told 'em about the island, all glittering with blue, a paradise for patients, all the heavenly things we do. Up north is where you meet me, east is where we sleep, south is where we walk and bake, and west is fishing deep. I waved upon the shore again, and rushed along goodbye. I sat me bum upon the sand, sodden with my lie. For the island 'twas not glittering, there was nothing that we do. No walk, no bakes, no fishing deep, none of that were true. For the north was hardly seen, and the east was in the bay. 'Twas filled with tents and battered huts, with bugs and bad decay. Between the south and western side was a mangrove-ridden head that only saw the buried of those who had come dead. And so it got me thinking to stand up for me once some more, for even sickly people gotta have their share of law.
The patients formed a committee. To speak, I wait to hear. It seems to be unfit. The conditions rather drear. We gave them rather nice lodge. We gave them all a book. But here say the protest lays, we gave them less than what we took. Very well, we hear the patient's call. We prepare to fill thy need. They require more in illness than a lively book to read. They can construct a jetty for fishermen to use, and instruments for music for musicians to amuse. Garden beds for all the huts, and seedlings they can grow, so when the food is short they shall have vegetables to sow. The housing will be redesigned, discard the rotten wood, and huts of strong material shall arise from where they stood.
Things are changing here, for a short time anyways. Free time is what they callin' it, to walk to all the bays. The boys they go a-fishin' now, in boats they's made from trees, but they's breaking rules and taking boats away from Peel's close seas. They's leaving this here island, they's breaking out for real. They's spreading sickness to the shore and breaking our New Deal. The law has said it clear and true, they'll take it all away if we start breaking rules and all. Our rights are not to stay. We don't hear need no problems. This here home has come alright. Still I missed me family, but I's sleepin' right at night. The gardens they is growin', and we is gettin' fairly fed. And there's a proper ceremony now for those who have come dead. The people with the darker skin, they's not living in those tents. They's in huts a wee bit closer. Makes a bit more sense. The docky doesn't travel far. He treats us all the same. But it ain't a real good thing now if he calls out your name. We ain't getting any better, even with the old man's care. The treatment's all the same it was. Nothing's changed out there.
I hear from the policemen that they are breaking all the rules. We give them rights, we give them more, they are taking us for fools. But the issue here more pressing is that blasted patient's crew. They resist the long-term separation. They say there's more that we can do. I heard about the letters that they had quietly wrote, pleading for assistance from the desolate and remote. They asked for our new treatment, expensive as it be, to be trialled at the island it had come from overseas. I don't quite understand it. They are treated there just fine. Stop begging for the pity and step back into line.
A few of us we had a chat about the sickness that we share. We's want of better health, we's want of better care. This here island it is nicer, the more that we can roam, but it still feels like a prison, and we is wanting to go home. So me friend she wrote a letter, far across the seas, for want of proper medicine to cure this disease. And it did come from far away for us to have a try. 'Twas better to do something than stay here and slowly die. Oh, me golly, right you see, the stuff was morely better. I thank me lucky stars that we'd wrote that old little letter.
Here I declare in 1959, Peel Island off the shores shall no longer serve as a lazaret. We shall chain its sickly doors. But do not be mistaken, this disease an open case. Perhaps we take alternatives and find another place.